Level 1, the student. You are sitting cross-legged on a bamboo mat in a room above a clinic in Surabaya, Java, and you are trying to feel something you cannot feel yet. The system is called MoPi. It is 2,500 years old. It was built by Mo Tzu, a philosopher and rival to Confucius who believed the human body was capable of things that had no name in any language yet spoken. The system has 72 levels. Your teacher has told you that 70% of students who attempt level 3 do not survive it. You nod as if this is normal information. The practice: sit, breathe in reverse, belly in on the inhale, out on the exhale, and focus 3 finger widths below the navel. You accumulate yang qi, the solar masculine energy that runs through every living thing, into a reservoir called the dantian. Think of it as a battery. Right now, yours is empty. 6 months in, you feel it for the first time. A warmth, not the warmth of a heated room. Something coming from inside the tissue, deeper than skin. You do not move. Then you open your eyes and it collapses like a soap bubble. Your teacher says this will go on for years. You believe him. You have no idea yet what years means. Level 2, the compressed. You are 27. The dantian is full. You know because the warmth crossed a threshold and became a coal in the abdomen, almost unbearable. Your teacher called it the lava sensation. He said, do not train for 72 hours after this happens. He said it once and did not repeat it because it was not the kind of instruction that needed repeating. Level 2 is condensation. You take what fills the dantian and compress it, smaller, denser, harder. Coal into diamond. The meditations run 2 hours now. You have rearranged your entire life around them. The results are physical and strange. You run warmer than other people. Always. You almost never get sick. A colleague with chronic migraine sits near you one afternoon and her headache disappears. She laughs and credits the paracetamol she took at lunch. You say nothing. But you are at level 2 of 72. You do the math once, and then you stop doing the math. Level 3, the unleashed. You are 34. You have a lump in your abdomen. Not a medical lump. The condensed chi mass has become dense enough to distort the physical body around it. You can feel it move under your palm. You can move it with your mind, not a metaphor. The lump physically migrates beneath your skin when you direct your attention. The first time you sat in your bathroom for an hour, pushing it back and forth like a marble in a bag. Level 3 is severance. The dantian is held by energetic threads the system calls cords of karma. In long meditations, 4 hours, sometimes more, you cut them one by one. Each one that severs feels like something you thought was permanent coming loose. You wept the first time without knowing why. Your teacher said this happens to everyone. The projections have begun. You can push heat from your palms. Not warmth. Heat, the kind that makes people flinch. A friend with a torn rotator cuff lets you work on his shoulder out of desperation. He is pain-free in 2 sessions. He cries. You drive home and don't explain it. But your teacher warns you about the pride trap. Every demonstration costs 3 weeks of cultivation. He knows because he watched himself pay for it at your level every single time. Level 4, the fusion. You are 42. You have done something fewer than 10 living people have done. Level 4 is the coupling of the dragon and the tiger, the fusion of accumulated yang qi with yin qi, the lunar earth-sourced current that rises through the base of the spine like a river that has been waiting underground for exactly this moment. When they meet, your teacher said, it will feel like lightning being born inside your body. He was not being poetic. It lasted 40 seconds. You thought you were dying. After fusion, the abilities change in quality. Before, you generated heat. Now you generate current, measurable bioelectric current, the kind instruments can read. John Chang, the MoPi master documented in the 1988 film Ring of Fire and known to the world as Dynamo Jack, pushed this current through a wire and lit a bulb. He held a crumpled newspaper in his open palm and set it on fire without touching it, the paper simply browning and catching in the field of his extended hand. You are not at that level. But when you push fused chi into a diseased organ, things heal that should not be able to heal. You have three patients. They found you the way people always find things that are true, through a chain of whispers. But your teacher is at level 22, and the look he gives you when you ask about what lies above is not mysticism. It is warning. Level 5, the projector. You are 51. You no longer need to touch people. The current projects across a room. You have healed a woman's arrhythmia from a chair 6 feet away. You have closed tissue that a surgeon spent 2 hours failing to close. A researcher from Jakarta wants to write a paper. You tell him no. Repeatability on demand is performance, and performance is the pride trap in a lab coat. Something else has opened. In a dim room, you can see the chi field around a patient's body. The shape of it, the gaps, the places it pools and darkens. Your teacher called this Shen awareness, spirit sight. He said most people throughout history have interpreted this ability as seeing ghosts. He said they're not wrong, just using the wrong framework. You push a chopstick through a hardwood table one afternoon, alone, to confirm you can. It takes 11 minutes. When it goes through, you feel less triumph than a mild sense that you have not used your time well, but the abilities pull toward use. Every suffering person is a demand. Your teacher spent 40 years at this level saying no more often than yes, and the sadness in him when he declines is something he has learned to carry without bending. You are still learning. Level 6, the storm. You are 61. A fluorescent tube lights in your student's hand without contact. The room smells of ozone. John Chang could knock an ordinary man unconscious from 10 yards with a focused emission. He used this ability exactly once, in a situation that required it, and spoke about it afterward with the flat effect of a surgeon describing a necessary amputation. You understand this now. Above a certain level, the abilities are not impressive. They are grave. You sit for 6 hours at a stretch. Time inside the practice no longer feels like time. The boundary between you and the chi field around you has thinned to something almost theoretical. You breathe and the room breathes. Your body does not seem to age the way bodies age. People who knew you 20 years ago say something is different but cannot name it. They assume it is diet. But grief has arrived, not your own. The weight of being one of fewer than 20 living people at this stage, in a lineage 2,500 years old that has never found a way to be truly taught at scale. Your teacher died at level 22. You carry him now in the practice. You will carry him forever. This is not a metaphor. Level 7, the conduit. You are somewhere past 70. You have stopped tracking age. The 72 levels are not a staircase, but a dissolution. Each level removes something, a layer of the ordinary self, a filter, a fixed boundary between inside and outside, until what remains is not a person who has mastered energy, but a place where energy passes cleanly. The goal was never power. Power is a byproduct of transparency. People arrive with conditions their doctors have surrendered. Sometimes something shifts in the tissue that the follow-up scans cannot explain. You have learned to ask them to arrive without expectation. Most cannot. You work with what you have. You are aware of the other masters now. 4 of them felt the way you feel heat from a distant fire. You will never meet them. This does not feel like loneliness. It feels like topology, a point on a very old map in a territory most people cannot see. A new student arrives. He is 22. He sits on the bamboo mat and asks how long it will take to feel something. Months, you tell him. Maybe longer. He nods, certain that the gap between where he is and where he is going can be closed by will alone. You do not tell him that will is precisely the wrong tool. He will learn this. You close your eyes. Somewhere below your navel, where a warmth first announced itself 50 years ago on this same mat, the current runs, steady, permanent, a river that has been flowing so long it has forgotten what it means to stop.